Hi everyone, it's me, Bon, and welcome to my second daily edition. In this daily edition, I'll be talking about a small part about the main word, which is the common idea that success means being rich, which comes from my main word, which is about the 7 deadly habits you should avoid by Jack Ma. So, let's start. So the general common idea or the problem is that people think that success often means being rich or being billionaire, having nice houses, or maybe having a really nice car and a really nice wife, etc. This video is trying to prove, as an individual, myself of course, is that true success is more than money. It also includes how we act as a person, how we can be motivated, and what drives us to create the goals that we have for the future. So, firstly, let's look at the psychology behind money. There are two kinds of motivation, that is internal motivation and external motivation. So, external motivation is the slight or small motivation. For example, when myself finds like a $10 bill on the ground, and I'm happy for that short moment because I just got free money. However, in the few following like hours or minutes after I already spent that, and after I ate the candy or maybe the thing I played and I get bored of it, there's not really a lot of dopamine that is released to make us feel worthy or motivated. Although that really isn't an exact example or a good example, internal motivation means that the motivation comes from inside us, like it's true motivation. So for example, if I wanted to learn or be better in actuarial science, external motivation would be something like my parents rewarding me with like a huge buffet dinner treat after I finished the course. But internal motivation is the desire, my desire, to become a better person in general and be an actuary. Next, problems with focusing only on money. Firstly, there is less happiness. So why is there less happiness when money can almost buy anything? There are a lot of types of friends out here. However, it is really hard to make friends if you don't have any money. However, if you have money, it is really easy to make friends. Society is not fair. People will try to manipulate an individual to get the riches in order to bring benefit to their own individual self as a person. Which is why focusing too much on money and not on the other aspects of life, such as joy, happiness, enjoying nature, etc., could be a waste to one's life. Secondly, there's going to be more stress. More money equals more management, and more management equals more stress. People might not realize it, but people with a lot of money, such as Elon Musk, or maybe Steve Jobs, etc., basically people who are like billionaires and above, have to do a lot of work in order to manage their money, or they could overspend and lose all their fortune on bad investing, as well as bad understanding of financial management, which is why understanding financial management is also very crucial. Thirdly, there's less meaning to life. This is because life isn't just about money, it's about enjoying the experiences that one may want to. For example, my life goal is somehow to go skydiving. But if I focus too much on the money needed to go skydiving, I might only focus on that and ignore the other aspects, such as living a good life, having a good career, and maybe also having like a good general understanding of what the meaning of my life is. So, next is Jack Ma's advice on these bad habits. So, who is Jack Ma? Jack Ma is an extremely successful businessman who created Alibaba, which is like a company functioning similar to Amazon, I believe, and it sells items or products to its people. So, his understanding on the 7 deadly habits is firstly not taking risks, which means that people miss the chance to grow. Second, only thinking about money, or as I already said before, gives life less meaning, less motivation, and generally not a reason to live at all. Thirdly, not learning, like in financial succession, an individual such as myself needs a lot of understanding about financial markets and etc. in order to survive in the market in general. Fourthly, giving up easily. As Jack Ma demonstrated through his company, he was rejected a lot of times and failed a lot of times as well. However, he did not give up. He treated every failure as a step to go forward and eventually started his company, Alibaba, which is a very successful company today. 5. Working alone. Although an individual can have exceptional skills, there are still areas that they cannot fill out as an individual, such as team coordination, etc. This is why it is crucial to also have teammates or fellow co-workers in order to make work as efficient and generate as much profit as possible. 6. Fearing change. This means that one does not want to go away from their old terms or old habits, and this can lead to a lot of things. Firstly, it can lead to the person who is scared of change getting left behind in their bad and old habits, causing them not to grow. So this means that it depletes them of further knowledge, evolution in the market, etc. And lastly, working just for myself. So working only for myself is not motivating. Working for others, according to Jack Ma and his advice, is more motivating. So, there are more important personal qualities for real success, according to Jack Ma. Firstly, is understanding emotions and knowing how to control them. Because if a person, for example me, loses control of my emotions, I could easily make stupid and unintelligent decisions, which could make my financial success worse. B. Waiting for rewards, which means that in order to succeed, one must be patient. For example, investment does not generate income immediately. However, it needs time to generate income and hence generating profit. And lastly, self-control. This includes everything from controlling on gaming, controlling on the amount of food we eat each day, and controlling our schedule, etc. This means that if a person has more self-control, they'll be more disciplined and they will try their best to do everything in an orderly, mannerly fashion, which means that the work is, in general, more efficient and useful. So, in conclusion, money is not the point of life. It is a common idea to believe that success means being rich. However, according to Jack Ma's advice, this is not what it means. So, this video mainly focuses on the psychological effects of focusing on money too much and making money seem like a god or a master. So, that was all for my DE2. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.